Diocese of Brooklyn students take over the Lenten pilgrimage. The kids joined the Bishop of Brooklyn and the pilgrims in prayer at the latest stop of their journey. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. Wednesday marks 2 weeks of traveling for those on the Lenten pilgrimage, and honoring the special occasion, junior high students from across the Diocese of Brooklyn. They gathered at Holy Family Church in Fresh Meadows for a rally meant to bolster their faith and the faith of the pilgrims. Current News' Katie Vasquez has that story from Queens.
550 students enter Holy Family Church in Fresh Meadows to sing songs about God.
It was very involving, and I like the singing a lot. It was just very cool.
And reflect on their faith.
It made me feel that God is always around me and that He has so much power.
Kids traveled from across Brooklyn and Queens for this junior high Eucharistic youth rally, which was also the latest stop in the Diocese of Brooklyn's Lenten pilgrimage.
It's just beautiful in the way they prayed before the Blessed Sacrament, but the way they responded to the music and the prayers.
Bishop Robert Brennan led the adoration for the packed church. He says for him and the other pilgrims, traveling the diocese's churches, seeing the youngest Catholics in prayer is inspiring.
It's very encouraging to be among the young people. You see their energy, you see their reverence.
Just like those undertaking the pilgrimage, the kids are also currently preparing for Christ's death and resurrection by learning about it in the classroom. This rally gives them a tangible connection to their faith.
I think it's good for kids in middle school to, become more introduced to the actual faith.
We give the opportunities to see that the world is bigger than just their appetites, that there's something more gracious involved in everything they do.
The rally didn't just fulfill the Lenten practice of prayer, it also encouraged almsgiving. Those in attendance were encouraged to give toiletries that would be donated to the Little Sisters of the Poor and Missionaries of Charities. They would be given out to the elderly and the poor in the Diocese of Brooklyn. In Fresh Meadows, Katie Vasquez, Current News.
The pilgrimage is well underway, but it's not too late to join the pilgrims on their journey. The faithful are stopping at 40 churches, 22 in Brooklyn and 18 in Queens, and will travel in almost like a circle. It all began on Ash Wednesday at the Cathedral Basilica of St. James. Pilgrims have gone through Brooklyn, are working their way through Queens now, and eventually they'll wind up in Brooklyn again. At that end, during the Holy Triduum, parishioners can celebrate at their own parishes. To see all the stops the pilgrims will make, just download the Lenten Pilgrimage app. All you have to do is search Lenten Pilgrimage on the app or Google Play Store. And if you can't be there in person, the app helps you there too. You can join the prayer community there right from the palm of your hand. Now, a Holy Father health update. Pope Francis is back at the Vatican after a short hospital visit. The pontiff was taken to Gemelli Hospital on Rome's Tiber Island immediately following his general audience on Wednesday. The 87-year-old was there for less than an hour. The Vatican says he underwent some diagnostic tests before returning home. The Pope has been suffering from the flu for the last several days. During the general audience, his assistant read his speech. Meanwhile, last Saturday and Monday, his appointments were canceled. Be sure to stay with Current News and the tablet for continuing coverage of the Pope. Can you add, subtract, multiply, and divide on the fly? That's the question students across Brooklyn and Queens had to answer at the annual Diocesan Math Bee. The champions from 30 individual Catholic school bees all converged on St. Helen Catholic Academy in Howard Beach Tuesday afternoon so they could compete in the Math Bee finals. They were challenged to think under pressure while solving problems without a pen or paper within a certain time limit. In the end, 2 girls took home the top prize, but many say it was a nail-biter to the end.
Yeah, so we had 21 grueling rounds of competition. It took a little bit longer than we expected to see who this year's diocesan champion was, but the last two girls, battled it out for a few rounds until we were able to determine the winner.
I was really happy because I never saw a girl who won the math before, in first or in second place. So we were really happy.
I was really impressed by how everyone was doing, but at the same time I was hoping that some people would get out because I needed to win too. And then when it came down to me and Dishara, I was really scared because she knew a lot of things and really quick. And when she said the definition, I knew I was already done. But congratulations to her anyway.
Every student received a certificate and trophy for their efforts, but the top 3 received the biggest trophies. If there was a trophy for people who are selfless, generous, and dedicated to their mission as Catholics, it would be given to a group of volunteers at St. Saviour Church called the Brownbaggers. The leader of this Park Slope ministry is tonight's Pulse of the Parish. The Church of St. Saviour was founded in 1905, but at first it didn't look like this. As the population in Park Slope grew in the early 1900s and the farmlands made way for brownstones, this little church on the corner had to grow too. You can see the stonework on the lower part of the church is different from the bricks above because St. Saviour was built in 2 stages. The upper church was completed in 1918, but there were a number of challenges along the way thanks to World War I.
Even on the day that the bishop dedicated the church, the upper church, everything wasn't here yet. The stained glass windows were still in Munich, Germany. The marble was still in Italy.
Those stained glass windows were worth the wait. The pastor, Father Frank Spacek, tells us they're unique in that they depict the Stations of the Cross. The lower windows show the mysteries of the Rosary.
They always say that the stained glass windows were the Bibles of the poor. And for people who 150 years ago didn't know how to read, they could come to a church and look at those windows and see the story of our salvation in the Stations of the Cross, or they could pray the mysteries of the Rosary.
And while the windows remain, the parishioners who view them have changed. They were mostly Italian and Irish back then. Now, Father Frank says the whole world is here. All ethnicities and nationalities living their Catholic faith.
You are the feet with which he walks to do good.
And putting it into action.
Some of us are going to walk to Penn Station if we still have bags, but...
Parishioners like Dave Beaudry, who leads the Brownbaggers, the ministry that gathers once a month to make sandwiches, pack them up with some other goodies, then hop on the subway and deliver them to the homeless.
Oh, here you go. The way I've felt about this is, putting, Jesus' words into action. And it was an opportunity to actually go out and help members of our community.
Dave and his volunteers, including his wife and 2 sons, walk through the subways and city streets to find people who are often overlooked by others.
Just the experience and making the connection with, unfortunately, people who don't get seen very often. I think it really touched us to just reach out to them and see them and talk to them.
He says this monthly mission has made him a better person, brought him closer to his church community, and helped grow his faith.
My faith in God, but also I think the community aspect of it. I felt that from an early age, and how God speaks to you through different people. It's been a part of me. You're feeling God reaching out to you in different ways and doing different things, and this has been just the latest in a journey of that.
And now you know Dave Beaudry from St. Saviour's and how he makes up the Pulse of the Parish. And it is most definitely a family affair for the Beaudrys when it comes to service to their church. Aside from being a part of the Brownbaggers, Dave's sons are also lectors and altar servers. Do you know someone who is the pulse of their parish? Email us their story at newstips@desalesmedia.org. You can also call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.